Story time. Insert us, the luxury pickers, who you don't normally see the face of in like picking videos.
We get it.
Story time. So funny. So we were on the way to our picking day, and we stopped in St John. On the way we were discussing.
There's a small place near Bath, if anyone doesn't know.
Yes. In the car we were discussing how boot sales are coming to an end. We're going into autumn, and it's sort of that transitional grey space in reselling.
Clothing specifically, but everyone, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you sort of have to adapt to more, obviously,
Other methods. Like,
yeah, and
not just charity shops.
You lose a whole
online
method, though.
One of the main chunk for a lot of people. Some people only do boot sales.
And you get like in like a weird like summer blues situ, and I think everyone gets summer blues anyway after their foreign holidays and, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Cascades abroad. And
Cascades.
I don't know why I said that.
Cool.
And we thought, okay, let's get motivated. Let's get ourselves going. Let's think of the holy grails that we would like to find in the trenches, in charity shops, this coming season. So I made a list. We hashed it out, and we made a list on.
Bethany physically made a list on
the
her phone. Yeah,
and I sent it to Austin. I said, let's manifest this. Let's write them all down, because that's what you got to do if you manifest. We write them all down. I'm going to send them to you, and then we're going to see what we can do. We're all going to Bath, and Bath's a really good place. So it is. You know, you're more likely to find one of these sort of high end labels. But
this video, which is around this clip, will be Bath.
Yes, I'll insert the text message picture, and then we like homed it down, and we got it down to 10. I think, was it 10?
Yeah, we said 10. We said round it up to 10. Yeah.
Of our holy grail brands,
not just brands, but items from brands too.
Specific items.
But it might be brands, I guess. Depends.
Yeah, depends. Right. So we went into this one charity shop in St John. We did our shopping. It was alright.
We got like 15 minutes there, really.
Yeah.
On the way out.
And we were just chatting and stuff. And on the way out, there was this jacket, and it was hanging right by the door. And I hadn't seen it when I was looking round.
It looked like it was on the back of the door, didn't it?
And it looked like the little X's on the buttons looked like Dr. Martens, and I thought, well, Dr. Martens clothing does really well anyway.
Yeah, it was the way the buttons were stamped. I know what you mean.
It was more special than Dr. Martens anyway. So we went over to this jacket, and it was one of the items on the list. And
what was the item, Bethany?
I'm not going to say it yet.
Okay.
And then I thought, okay, this is going to happen. This is the bucket list. We're making the bucket list. And I will insert our bucket list here, our professionally done bucket list, over Austin's face. Here. And we're going to talk about it in depth in another video, and add comps and reasons why these are on our bucket list, and it might help you when you're out picking if you want to try and find the items on our bucket list, or you want to make your own bucket list.
We will actually, I think, put something on Instagram as well once we've released that.
I'll do an empty bucket list.
If someone wants to do it, they can tag us, because I think, once again, like, it sounds funny, but some people think some things on our bucket list might actually become people sideways, because maybe why would they want to pick that up, or why would they?
Yeah.
Maybe like it's not everyone does the same. And once again, if you're not a clothing reseller per se, which I guess people who maybe do watch this aren't, some of them, do your own. Like, it could be in vintage Nintendo, or I don't know, whatever it would be. But I think sharing those pieces of information, the fact it would be on someone's bucket list, either means one, it's expensive, or two, it's cool.
Yeah, cool. Anyway, so I'm going to insert the clip of us walking out the shop, because we weren't filming. And
it's always the way, though.
We filmed walking out the shop, just, you know, if it's not on film, it didn't happen. And I will describe it to you. Basically, it's a Jean. Did you say Jean or Jean?
It looks like Jean, but it's Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Jacket. It's silk blend. It's brown, sort of like two-tone bronze.
It's like a denim jacket shape, you know, with the kind of the buttons, a bit like what I'm wearing now, but not at all. You know what I mean? An actual denim jacket in shape.
It's fur-lined, shearling, purple ombre fur-lined.
But like a wild kind of, like, almost like fiery. What would you call it? Like the kind of
curly.
Yeah, it's curly kind of shearling. It's
and
not your general one.
Skull and crossbones, copper hardware. It's just a great.
It's the best like Y2K Jean-Paul Gaultier you can find.
Okay, it's amazing. We found a similar one that had sold for 450.
We found the exact same one smaller for 450 actually.
Yes. So anyway, and this is, you're watching now the clip of us finding it, I assume. And then we're off to Bath to see if we can find any more things on our bucket list.
Who knows?
However, if you're interested in the bucket list stuff, we will be doing a video and dropping it pretty much like after this one.
Yep.
The next day, maybe, or the day after.
Yep.
And we'll talk about the bucket list in more detail. And yeah, buckets.
Bucket list and buckets. We are really interested to find out if any, like I said, if anyone wants to kind of we'll set up on Instagram so you can kind of copy and paste it or whatever else, or make your own and just at us in your stories or your posts on Instagram specifically, because I'm actually quite excited to see what other people's bucket lists are.
Yeah,
because as much as ours,
cool.
in some ways ours are quite obvious, in other ways they're things other people have already found. Even though we're the luxury pickers, we don't like to say you found everything in the wild you've ever wanted to find is going to be a bit of a fib. So,
and there's some things that we would never really expect to find. Like I would never put a
black Chanel flap,
a Chanel handbag at all on a bucket list, because you've got to be a little bit realistic when it comes to actual like in the trenches.
And we're not saying you couldn't find that. What we're saying is we are trying to make lists that, you know, as much as they are grails to us, they're things which you could find. Whereas that's going to be more like more.
Yeah, we want to complete the bucket.
Exactly. You put a gold bar on there, or you know, a Rolex, or like the reality is, come on, you know. But the list would be interesting. So once again, please, once you actually see the details from the next video, post, tag us, and we'll repost them as well.
Woo! Happy picking. We're in Bath. We're back again in Bath.
Well, that was fun. I enjoyed that segment previously, Bethany.
No problem. We started in Peace St John, and we've come up into central Bath, and we do the ones on the outskirts too, and then we sort of like we do them as we go in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Like you stop as you go.
This is
kind of what most people do.
Well, we obviously had a great time at the first charity shop that we didn't film because we thought, oh, we'll just skip through this village. But let's hope to find more great items along the way.
I do hate that. Oh, I'll tell you now. Go on, do this first.
This is Mini Rodini. Mini Rodini. There is money in kids wear. This is like the whale play suit. Mini Rodini is like a fun, hip kids brand. As you can see, the prices are sort of more high-end, high street, and they can get good returns based on the pattern, so keep an eye out for that in the kids section. This is Vivienne Westwood Red Label. Red Label is fairly good. It's better than Anglomania.
It's really good.
However, this is just a plain pencil skirt. Now it's £50, which is not bad.
It's actually really good.
It's very good. However, if you know Vivienne Westwood and you've been watching our videos for a while, you'll know that the wilder the Westwood, the better the return. So a plain pencil skirt, I wouldn't
even more so in navy, not so much.
I mean, there's money in it. There's good money in it, but it's whether you want to sit £50 in a plain pencil skirt for a little bit. It's not the fast selling stuff. The fast selling stuff is the tartan, the abstract shapes, the asymmetrical pieces.
Yeah,
you know?
the kind of more Westwood if you want.
Yeah, hardcore Westwood. If you're not don't know a lot about Westwood, then do look into her and look at her sort of like style aesthetic. Yeah, punky, very like rebellious.
Like good prints. They got a couple of kind of iconic prints as well. But yeah, it's worth kind of getting yourself
familiar with.
Yeah,
they do a runway book as well for Vivienne.
Oh yeah, catwalk. But they do all the catwalk books. They had them in Costco.
Yeah, for like 40 quid, I think.
We have a couple actually, don't we?
We've got a few, but I don't have Vivienne. It's tartan.
Is that a hint you might want the Vivienne at some point?
I think I would like the Vivienne. It wasn't out when we were buying ours. So
no, it's true.
I think they do an Yves Saint Laurent one as well.
Oh yeah. We have the Chanel, the Prada, Louis Vuitton,
and we got Mulberry.
And Mulberry, yeah.
Okay,
anyway, enough about us.
Well, you're literally distracted. Right, so this is £7.50 COS. Now, I really like COS, and COS sells really well as a bread and butter vibey.
It does. This top is lovely as well. I'm just showing you the new logo there, by the way. And I was just showing you some comps also. The thing is with COS, if you can get it cheap enough, is well worth picking up for sure.
I also
think dresses, I reckon, more so though. No,
I also think it's based on silhouette, shape, trends, colours, sold out pieces, anything that celebrities worn.
Because it's very contemporary as a cut and a shape.
Yeah,
far more so than most other companies.
I think it's one of those high street brands that people tend to pick up the cheaper stuff from the brand to wear the brand, and then that ends up trickling through the charity shops. The more expensive stuff from the brands, we don't tend to find, and they also change their logo fairly regularly, so it's always
keeps you on your toes as regards labels.
Keep up with the labels.
This was lovely. This was what, £12?
£12. Sweaty Betty spell out. Do you mind the fluff? I haven't flinted this. I haven't linted this.
Do you know the funny thing about this specific jumper? There's a few comps on screen now, and that's obviously their kind of logo. But when I was actually looking, kind of researching it more and more and more, the comps, they vary so much. Some people find Sweaty Betty and just think Sweaty Betty is like 20 quid.
It depends on the item.
And the market is definitely changing due to bad comps.
I also think they're starting to mass produce a bit more, and that's affecting the market too.
Maybe so.
That's a Pembledon. If anyone doesn't know Pemble, do you say it?
Pembleton.
They make woolen goods. Big in America, they make like blankets and jackets. That was £18, which was far too much because it had shrunk into an inch of its life.
They've also done like collabs with like Vans and
They got loads of good collabs actually.
Using their kind of fabrics and their wool, so it's cool.
This is my favourite charity shop.
Yeah, this is cool.
I like this one.
Straight off the bat, here we go.
We've got here we go. This is Diane von Furstenberg. Diane von Furstenberg. She makes really nice silk dresses. For anyone who wants to know, you want to look out for the wrap dresses. The wrap dresses are where it's at. The other dresses do well too, but the wrap dresses are the best.
They are indeed.
This is really nice actually. Although a little bit out of season, this Isabelle Marant Etoile.
Yeah.
And it is 100% cotton, but it's floral. I think it's rather beautiful.
Yeah, I do as well. I really like the fabric. I think it is a cotton in it, but it's very linen-esque cotton.
Yeah.
Very light, very summery. Totally not what you're looking for right now. But once again, as we always say, people do pick these up all year round.
It was £12. I've actually whacked ours up for 100 because that's what I do. Because I think it's a very I think people mistake the fact that Isabel Marant, although it's a sister brand, it doesn't mean it's
a cheaper, like less than.
It is cheaper than Isabel Marant full line, but it's still really expensive.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just because it is cheap, it doesn't mean it's necessarily it's cheap.
But
There's a big difference.
I think it's a really standout piece, and I think it deserves that price point.
It reminds me of the Gucci Bloom kind of box, when they did the kind of red special edition.
Yeah.
I'm going for the men's here. I'll be honest, the men's here, they usually get a few shirts.
Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really not.
Yeah, I think, once again, it's more of a, I don't want to say traditional, but like, the ways the ladies' clothes in this particular shop are, although they're great brands, are quite, some of them are quite out there, they're quite different, they're quite, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, whereas the men's are very staid and very samey. You know, there's jumpers, there's shirts, there's t-shirts. It's not mind blowing, any of the kind of styles or shapes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. We were talking to the lady who was working here, and she let us know the best days to come in when new stock comes out. What a G.
We're not going to say that.
No, we're not going to tell you when. But however, she said there's a couple of members of staff that know the labels, and they process the labels faster.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of people that don't. They just put things out when and where. So she said it's best to come in when the fashionable ones were.
That's literally what she said. A few different things I'm picking up here. This is the hundreds. Previously, there was a Hugo Boss red label, and there was something else from...
Here we go. This is a wrap dress from Diane von Furstenberg.
Yeah.
It was $25. However, the condition of this piece was
immaculate.
beautiful.
Yeah, it looks lovely. The colours were really, really vibrant too, which
like
tells you obviously
paint splatter design. However, you can get about 150 to 200 from a wrap dress. So if you wanted to pay up, I think you're safe to pay up. They are a pain in the butt to photograph though.
I was actually going to say that. The only thing, once looking for comps, I was going to say earlier, looking for Diane von Furstenberg dresses, if you put the highest comp up, you can find dresses for like £700-800 still used, and even more so new. Then you can find things for £25. I think, once again, without saying keep the market up, keep the market up, keep the market up, keep the market up, because I do think people are dropping. They're seeing that they can make 25 quick for maybe a few £, and doing it.
It always happens. It happens with anything, but if we can sort of keep the cycle rolling, then
there's such a vast difference. Between low end and high end, and even the dresses are, sometimes they're silk.
This shop particularly has a lot of clothes in it, and it does take a little bit of time, doesn't it, to go round? Yeah,
it does indeed.
Oh, there I am. Looking beautiful. Oh, I do brand checks for Oz. He does this thing. If it looks really nice, he comes and says, "Is this anything?"
And do you know what? Sometimes the really annoying thing is 99% of the time Bethany's right and she's on the money. But there's been a few instances she's like, "I don't know what that is. We have to Google it, or we'll check it. And it's worth loads." I much prefer
if you anything you
check
don't
everything.
Yeah.
Like anyone who you see a lot of people, whether it's Instagram or YouTube, whatever, like they know everything about everything. Like you don't. It's impossible. Like, check it. Get your phone out, No one does, that's what I'm saying.
I do know about this. This is a Burberry polo shirt. It is longer, it's like 3/4 length sleeve.
It was quite a cool sleeve. It was a long sleeve, but quarter 3/4 length.
It's a cropped length as well. And it's got the embroidered logo there. It's also got a Novacek trim on the buttons. It was a size small, but it is... I'm distracted by the comps there. What wonderful comps.
Insane.
It is £8.
I'm trying to show comps as well that like people actually not only pay, but once again, I feel like sometimes people put the lowest comp possible in. I'd rather put the highest and work back down.
Oh yeah, because
You know?
I always look at the highest comp anyway, and I either list
That's what I'm
accordingly or
saying.
list higher. That's how we personally
I don't understand the mentality. Why would you pick the lowest? It's like, oh, okay, maybe I'll get this. Why would you do
Well,
that?
it's just business structure, innit? Some people are there for quick return, some people are there for the most money.
Fair enough.
Yeah, get it?
I get it. I don't get it. But
I like that
I understand
skirt.
what you're saying.
Oh, I love how we're going in it.
Yeah, I was looking for a label.
What a multi what's the word?
I don't know.
A visual experience.
That was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right up a skirt.
I thought it was like ASMR, but like visual.
Maybe we'll clickbait the title like I went up the skirt with my camera.
I don't think anyone would watch that.
No.
Austin,
I think there probably would be
that's
people who'd
quite
watch that.
Vile, God.
Speaking of vile,
These are speaking of vile, they're watching you. They're
very
judging you.
angry. They're very angry. What have you done with their name, their branding, their trademark?
This is a pair of non-authentic Dolce & Gabbana that they put on the shop floor as non-authentic. Now, for anyone, I put this on TikTok and a lot of people came at me. Just so
What else is new?
Just so that everyone knows, I wasn't opposed to people wearing them. If you want to wear fakes, then that's like you do what you got to do, right? However, they shouldn't be for sale. Just donate them. They should go to a women's shelter. They should go to someone that actually needs some trousers, and they should be worn as trousers. It is actually illegal to sell counterfeit goods on the shop floor in the UK. And so they shouldn't be on the shop floor.
You tell them.
Yeah.
This is Oscar. It was like, I don't know how much it was. I didn't see then. So once again, Austin never sees.
That was quite nice. I didn't look at that.
It was sort of scene which scares the bejesus out of me.
Oh, it does.
And that's why I left it.
The bejesus.
Yeah, well, it's not bejesus, but it's bejesus.
This is Velvet by Graham Spencer. I really love selling Velvet by Graham Spencer.
And look at the prices they go for, brand new.
I think it's a hugely underrated brand to resell. Like retail on just a blouse is 100, 120 to 150.
And you can get like close to half of that on most items.
Yeah.
No?
This is a Windsor London. Most brands have something that like is like a core product to them. This is Windsor London. It's called the Wiggle Dress.
Yep.
It's meant to illusionally make you smaller than you are. It doesn't work. No, it might work. I don't know. I never put one on. I don't think
We actually had a black one with a navy one with black sides, which was like an allusion to like behold. Actually,
yeah. Sometimes
Remember that?
but that was double color. The color block was also creating the illusion.
well, that was creating the curves.
This is High by Claire Campbell. I don't like the name of this brand, but we're not here to judge branding today.
That is
this
true.
is High Tech. This is a halter neck maxi length dress. You're probably going to see all other resellers comps in here. I'm 100% sure that's muffins there.
Cool. Well done, you.
They go for about 125 to 150. If you really, really push it based on style, 175. But they're always worth picking up, if that makes sense. Trousers and tops go for a little bit less. Dresses, outerwear, obviously. The brand retails is so high. It hurts my brain cells how high the retail is of the brand.
Like what?
For £500 to £600 for a dress.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
So that's why I think you can say like I want 150 for it, or I want £100 for it.
Yeah.
Depending on the fabric, the
cut.
composition. I should say. The cut. Yeah, exactly. That dress particularly is a very nice style as well. Like that kind of one shoulder, blah blah blah.
Yeah. We paid £9 for it, by the way. Although it's slightly out of season now, because as you can see, it's
you're
raining.
such a seasoned person.
I suggest that people still are gonna like go out for an evening meal and put a cardi on. I guess I sound like such an
A
old
cardi.
person.
Oh my god. What?
Some people like cardis. And
Why wouldn't you just wear a jacket and then take the jacket off when you get into the restaurant, which is usually warm?
Like a light covering, isn't it?
God, this is our life now.
This is the bric-a-brac section. We always do the bric-a-brac section. Much to people's surprise, it's my favourite section.
It is. You're always like you leave it to last. Like when people leave like Yorkshire puddings to the last on the roast.
I am a hobbyist when it comes to the old crockery.
You look so proud and so happy there.
I was happy with this purchase. I was happy with this find. The art degree is coming in handy for the first time ever. This is Damon Hirst, 2006, the incomplete something.
It'll pop up in a minute. Don't you worry.
The incomplete. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, you could purchase them in sets, or you could purchase them singly. But from my research, it appears that only a few of the designs were singly produced. This one appears not to be.
Yeah, it was part of a set.
Part to be set. So that is interesting, because if someone breaks their set or needs to replace an element of the set, it makes it harder to replace that item in the set.
Or you might even want to back up your set. How about that?
So I've sort of, the skull one is the most common one. They go do just 50 to 75. Obviously there was no comps for this one, so I whacked it up for 100 and see where we land. But if you got a full set, they're going for about 700.
Yeah, these are sold prices as well, just to clarify. I honestly, once again, had no clue what it was at all.
Check the ties, because you might tick a tie off the bucket list. Not on this occasion, but we might.
You might indeed. This was a cool coloured Ralph shirt. Ralph shirt, that's a boutique Ralph shirt, just so anyone knows the label. It's not a polo by Ralph Lauren. Not a lot of people know that. Everyone just kind of reads the label and just kind of ignores it. But yeah, that means that was bought in a Ralph store, as opposed to a store which sells Ralph.
I get it.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Rather than a blue polo buy.
Would you call that like a summer Hamptons colourway?
I don't know about that. Maybe maybe. It's a vibe either way. And I just really like the colour. The size was a bit off, otherwise I probably would have gone for myself, to be honest. Once again, there's like 100,000 of those.
Would you have
but
worn
it's cool.
that?
Yeah, all day, every day. In my sleep, I would have worn that.
What scenario?
In my sleep.
Okay.
No, I have a thing, you know what I'm like with clothes. I love so many different styles, but I'll buy lots of different styles, and then I'll just be like, oh.
And then I'll have 27 million polo Ralph Lauren shirts.
No, all my Ralph I wear, to be fair. This was the one I wanted to show everyone. So this is Guess, as in Guess jeans. This is actually part of a capsule collection they did, where they used all of it. Now this I'm showing you to show you that it had a QR code, so it wasn't an old one. But they used these labels and logos, which are actually the vintage ones they used 20 years ago or 25 years ago. So it's just part of a capsule collection. They do go for okay money, but I wanted to show you in case you found one of those, or a t-shirt with one of those labels in, and thought for a second you found something very, very expensive, because vintage ones, I've mentioned before, go for 2 or 3 times the amount that would.
Wonderful, thank you, Oscar.
I can breathe now. I think this is pretty much the end of the video, is it not?
Is it?
No, not at all.
This one I found a Free People hat in, and it didn't fit right. I was really upset about it. If anyone finds any fedoras, you know where I am.
The other thing was, it was a Free People X who?
Oh, it was you know when Free People have brands in Free People, like Anthropology have brands in Anthropology? Yeah. It's very much the same vibe.
Okay. That was cause I was disappointed once again. New label. It was like a vintage style sweater, like the black kind of, what do they call it? Like black faded, which I liked. It was medium.
Distressed.
Therefore, it would go nowhere near my curves.
Is that Paul and Joe's sister? Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. You didn't show me. You never shows me anything.
There's something
you just don't love me anymore.
There's certain things I choose not to show you, because I just think it's going to be a conversation, and then you're going to be, oh, shall we, shan't we? I'm going to say, not really, and then we move on. Okay. Speaking of moving on, what we have here, my friends, is the finest APC.
APC.
This was actually a really nice top. It wasn't very APCE, if you know what I mean, but it was marked, which hurt my soul, just there.
Denim, like chambray.
Chambray, yeah.
My mum always calls light denim chambray.
Oh God, your mum.
Is that a thing? I know there's a fabric called chambray.
Yeah. I think your mum just kind of puts that in her head to kind of mean the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, APC always goes for good money, as the comp sort of just said. I would also aim high with APC. Is quite a I don't know. It's quite a high end brand. It's never ever cheap to buy retail.
It's a very ladies who lunch brand. Like, I live in Cornwall, and
I would actually say predominantly it's more men's brand and streetwear-esque. Yeah, I do.
Interesting.
Yeah,
they're very known for their silhouette shapes, fabric choices.
Yeah. Do you know I would call it a high price cause?
Yeah, you
know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah.
I got it down, haven't I?
Yeah.
I know fashion. It's very much like that. Like a cross between that and Comme des Garçons, that kind of vibe, with not play, actual proper Comme des Garçons, which is actually recent.
For a living.
Huh?
It's like you do this for a living.
Yeah, half the time when I say I don't really know this brand, I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. Then I actually go off and excuse me, and then I feel like, okay, maybe I've just redeemed myself and I do know what I'm talking about. As you can
see, we didn't add any more to the bucket list. However, ticking one off in one trip is pretty damn good. If anyone is interested in hearing more about the bucket list, it will be in the next video.
It will literally be in the next 24 hours from this video ending. So go see that as well.
Yeah, we're going to drop them like a twosie, like a twinsy kind of thing, like Gucci did in the latest runway show.
Vibes.
Vibes.